This father forced his son to work out until he died.
Now, some heartbreaking video of a boy on a treadmill, but prosecutors say not by choice. They say his dad was forcing him to run during months of abuse that ultimately led to the boy's death.
Instead of keeping his son safe, this dad was the one who ended his child's life. And what he did to his 6-year-old son will send chills down your spine, because this father forced his son to run on a treadmill set on high speed. And even though his son couldn't keep up with the treadmill's pace, he still forced him to keep running.
We're not showing you the most disturbing parts. It's just too upsetting. But the video played for the jury shows Corey unable to keep up with the treadmill's pace and falling down again and again, only to have his father put him back on.
Aside from that, he even attempted to get away with his crime, blaming her ex-wife for it and denying all the accusations. But why did he force his son to run on a treadmill? And did he really intend to kill his son? Corey Micciolo was a 6-year-old boy from New Jersey, USA. His parents had a very complicated relationship, because when he was born, it was only him and his mom, Brianna Micciolo. But a few years after Corey was born, Brianna finally decided to contact Corey's father, Chris Greger, to demand child support. Chris was shocked and claimed that he never knew that he had a child. However, after a few court hearings and a paternity test, he realized that he was indeed Corey's father and decided that he wanted to be part of his son's life.
Now, Brianna, how old was Corey when the defendant entered his life?
He was 5.
And was there a paternity test?
Yes.
And how old was Corey when it was determined that the defendant was his biological father?
Around 4.
Aside from this, Chris was also granted the custody of Corey, while Brianna was granted visitation days. Because of Brianna's history with drugs, people thought that it would be better for Corey to live with his father. But they were completely wrong, because now Chris is the reason why sweet little Corey is gone forever.
He liked the solar system. He liked to play outside. His mom describes him as silly and happy. Corey was 6 on April 2nd, 2021, when his father murdered him.
One day, while Corey was staying over with Chris, he woke up from a nap feeling sick. Corey was out of breath, slurring his words and feeling nauseous. Because of this, Chris immediately called Brianna and told her about the situation.
He told me Corey wasn't feeling good. That he was lethargic and he was throwing up and his legs hurt.
Did the defendant tell you where he was taking Corey?
He said he was going to the hospital. He was taking Corey to the hospital.
Chris took Corey to the hospital to get a CT scan, but after that, Corey's health just got worse and worse. He started having seizures, and just a few hours later, he passed away. After examining Corey's body, the autopsy showed that he suffered from blunt force trauma and cardiac and liver contusions. But despite the blatant sign of abuse, the authorities and the medical personnel still filed Corey's cause of death as due to natural causes. However, a forensic pathologist followed up on Corey's case and changed his manner of death as homicide. Turns out, Chris had been physically abusing Corey. This explains the blunt force trauma and the contusions Corey went through. On top of that, the authorities found out that just a few days before Corey died, Chris was forcing him to run on a treadmill at a high speed, all because his father thinks he's fat. Because of this, Chris was charged with murder and child endangerment.